Hello, hi, my dear friends. Welcome to my channel HSR Bioinfo. Today we are going to see the architecture of the stomach. We have already completed the another architectures of the mouth, pharynx, and also esophagus. So in today's class we are going to see architecture of the stomach in detailed manner. See, actually stomach is a bag-like structure. It looks like this bag-like structure. If this stomach is present in the abdominal cavity, especially in the upper right position, present in the abdominal cavity, and also it is present below the diaphragm. So this stomach has a internal mucous membrane, that internal mucous membrane get folded into many, that folds we are calling the rugae, and especially this stomach can divide into three parts. Part 1 is the upper and middle and lower parts. Part 1 is the cardiac, and cardiac part is a very low, and this lower part from here to here, pyloric, and this middle part, very largest part of the stomach, that is called as the fundic region. So cardiac, fundic and pyloric regions are present in the stomach. So how cardiac region is essential and pyloric region is essential and fundic region is essential for the digestion. See, actually cardiac region is a region where it has a sphincter that is called as a cardiac sphincter. Cardiac sphincter is a valve-like structure. It prevents and it regulates the entry of food from the esophagus. Entry of food is regulated by the cardiac sphincter. At the same time, here also a sphincter is a valve-like structures. They prevents and regulates the movement of the food items from the upper side to the inner side to the upper side. At the same time, from the here to the small intestine, that is called as the duodenum. So see, pyloric region is a region where it acts as a prevention of the food particles that entry from stomach to the small intestine, especially duodenum. So here is the cardiac sphincter is the region where it prevents the entry of food from the esophagus to the stomach regions. Let us see, if you section this cardiac and fundic, whatever the region of stomach, how it look like. See, actually it has a layer. There are many different types of cells are present in the stomachs. Let us see. So Similarly here also. Let us see. These are the different types of cells which are present in this part of the, if you see section of this part, it look like this one. This is entirely called as a lumen of stomach. This one is the lumen of stomach, and this entire part is a mucus pit. Entire part is a mucus pit. You just see it, this is like here also. Internally, they forms the mucus pits. Mucus pits. If you section this area, it looks like this one. If you section this area, it looks like this one. And let us see, there are different kinds of cells. These cells are called mucous neck cells. Mucous neck cells. Actually, mucous neck cells that produces the mucus, which is essential for the protection of the stomach internal structure, and also produces the bicarbonates. And next to the mucous neck cells, here are the some cells, they are called as a parietal cells. Parietal cells are the cells, they produces the HCl or gastric acid. At the same time, these parietic cells also produce the intrinsic factor. This intrinsic factor is essential for the calcium absorption. This intrinsic factor essential for the calcium absorption. See, next to this one, there are enterochromaffin cells. Enterochromaffin cells. These enterochromaffin cells actually essential for the production of histamines. See, actually histamines are essential for the stimulation of acids. Stimulation of acid production. At the same time, there are another cells they called as the chief cells. These are the cells, they produces the important pepsinogen and also gastric lipase. Chief cells are the cells, they produces the pepsinogen and gastric lipase. Along with this, there are one more cells called as a G cells. G cells are the cells, they are producing the somatostatin. Statin. This somatostatin is essential for the prevention of acid. It prevents the production of acid in the stomach region. And next to this one, there are the cells, they called as this one is D cells. G cells produce the gastrin. G cell which produces the gastrin. Let us see once mucous neck cells that produces the mucus. It's essential for the protection of the internal layers of the stomach and also it produces the bicarbonates. Next to that one, parietal cells that produces the HCl, especially gastric acid, and also enterochromaffin produces the histamines which is essential for the stimulation of the acid production. Chief cells produces the pepsinogens, from there that converted into the pepsin enzyme and also gastric lipase. And here are the G cells, they are the essential for the production of the gastrin, and here are the D cells essential for the production of the somatostatin. It prevents the production of the acid from the walls of the or parietal cells of the stomach. So in this way, arrangement of and architecture of the stomach is present. I think it is clear. Okay. So let us start another important internal structure of the small intestine. Internal structure of the small intestine, how small intestine is present and how it is essential for the absorption of the food material. Say, let us see you have seen this one is the stomach that's entry into the small intestine, especially first part of small intestine is the duodenum. If you see the section of the duodenum in transverse section and also horizontal section, we will see here. If you cut this duodenum in this way, it looks like this one. So if you cut this section in this way, how it look like? See here, I am going to draw. If you transverse section of the small intestine, especially duodenum and other parts, it look like this one. So these are the foldings of the small intestine internal structure. Food is entry from here to go like this one. So these foldings actually that contains the small finger-like structures. Small finger-like structures. They are calling villi. This is the transverse section of the, this is called transverse section of small intestine. This is called as a horizontal section. This is called horizontal section. This one is called as a transverse section. This is look like these foldings, and also it look like these foldings. And along with these foldings, there are the finger-like structures. They are called as villi. They are called villi. If you section this part, how it looks? See, this is the part, it is looking like this. So in this, there are the many blood vessels, which is present inside of this villi. These blood vessels they collect the food items into the blood. So this is the situation how villi is present like this one. So here you can see internal layer of the small intestine folded into the inside of the lumen of small intestine first of all. At the same time, that lumen of small intestine that contained foldings again folded into the small finger-like structures, they are calling villi. If you see this part, again this part contains these cells. Again that part contains these cells, they are calling columnar cells. They are calling columnar cells. These columnar cells contains the again finger-like structures. Again finger-like structures. These are the microscopic in nature. We cannot see with naked eye. They only observed under the microscope. So this is the villi, and this part and these cells and contains the finger-like structures we calling microvilli. Microvilli. Actually, see what I have drawn here completely. There are many folds which are present in the internal structure of the small intestine. Especially you are observing here. And if you see the transverse section, there are foldings. Along with the foldings, there is a some finger-like structures, they are calling the villi. If you see this villi, they looking like this one. Along with the villi, they contain the rich content of the blood vessels, essential for the absorption of the food items from the small intestine into the blood stream. At the same time, if you see the small part of the villi, there are many cells, especially columnar cells. That columnar cells, they are contains the again villi finger-like structures. They are also, we are calling microvilli. All these foldings are very essential for the absorption of the food, and also essential for the increasing surface area. Increasing surface area of the small intestine. If you see how it is improving the surface area, for example, if you draw a line that contains the 1 meter, if you divide this part into the 1, 2, 3, 4 regions, you just assume if you fold this 1 meter into the 4 internal foldings, how it looks. 1, 2, 3, 4. We can reducing this area. Again, if you fold this one into the 4 parts, again into the 4 parts, it looks like this area. Again, we are reducing this much of area here. Because of, see, we have the small area, but we need excess absorption of the food particle into the bloodstream. That's why internal structure of the small intestine get folded in many times and forms the microvilli. In this way, small intestine get arranged into the human digestive system for the absorption and increasing surface area of the small intestine. So, these are the internal structure of the small intestine and also stomach. So, in the future classes, we will discuss how these microvilli and villi are essential and absorb the different types of food ingredients into the bloodstream. So, I hope you people understand this class very well. If you understand very clearly, please do subscribe my channel and share, like and comment.